Welcome back, my C3 friends and fam. Another day, not looking so great. And if you're wondering what the heck is going on in the market, you're in the right spot. We're going to be doing a quick little market update and overview and figuring out why this screen is so red. And as always, you can bank on finding out what's new and why we're still bullish on the metaverse, even though it looks like a bearish fractal. So if that's something you're interested in, you should probably like, you should probably subscribe, but that's up to you, my friends. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So this screen is red. There's red all over here, and we're going to be finding out why. I got a handful of news articles for you guys, and today will be a little bit more of exposure, a little less educational on teaching you how we find things, but just trying to cram in all the information for why the market looks the way the market does. Because 38K is huge support. And in case your numbers aren't that great and you're looking at the same screen I'm looking at, Bitcoin is currently at 37,200. That is no bueno. So let's find out what's going in. I'm Al. Let's go. So over here, we have Bitcoin at $37,200 on Coin360. We can see it is down 3.96%. But we want to see where is our volume. So we come up here to block size and we look at volume, and there's just bloodshed everywhere. Thank goodness you got some projects like Luna that's up 1%, and the rest look like stable coins. We have USDC is green, UST is green, USDK is green, and BUSD is green. So what does that tell us? That tells us everyone is a little bit panicky and a little bit scared right now. Why? Well, there's a handful of reasons why, and that's not just our market. All of crypto looks like this right now, but so does the stock market. I mean, this is brutal. Google's down 1.39%, Apple almost down a whole percent, Microsoft or MicroStrategy almost down a whole percent. You have Amazon. I mean, Tesla. This is not the best look for all of the investment assets. So what is going on? Why are we looking at this? Well, you can see on CoinGecko, come over here and we look at our top performers. It is not a pretty picture. Our top performer in the top 100 is up 1.5%. That's sad. Then we have Lunatera, which is at 1.5%, sitting at 51.13. Leo tokens up 1.9% at $5.84, and then we drop off into ugly numbers from there. I hate to do it to you guys, but let's talk about the biggest bleeders of the day. We have BitTorrent, as it was pumping last week. It is now bleeding. So that's down 11.2%. Neo's at 14%. Dash is down 11.1%. Frax shares down 10%. Phantom down 11.3%. Avalanche is down 10.2% at $70.52. Harmony's down 10%. XRP down 9.7%. Gala's down 10%. So a lot of our favorite projects are just taking hits. And we want to know why. And the first thing is we have to understand market mentality, social sentiment. What are people thinking? Where are their heads at? What are we feeling? So we go over here to Cointelegraph. So this is Cointelegraph.com. And under latest news, you can kind of get a quick overview of what today's news is, but a lot of news got published over the weekend, so I got that stored up in my browser for you guys. But for today's news, we have Rise DAO scoops up fast food franchise as part of its crypto governance experiment. That is bullish. Can crypto be used to prove financial independence for travel visas? That is bullish. CA lawmakers introduce legislation to accept crypto as payment for government services. Bullish. Russia Finance Ministry introduces digital currency bill, brushes off central banks' objections. That is bullish. Cointelegraph's top 100 in crypto and blockchain list reached the halfway mark. Bullish. FTX US job posting reveals blockchain gaming unit in the works. I hear they're actually looking to hire software developers this month. So that is already in the works and big news. Very bullish. Ruby on the Rails creator backpedals about Bitcoin. We need crypto. $250,000 bounty, not too low to be insulting, says Coinbase white hat hacker. Crypto winter 2022. Here's what crypto industry veterans expect. So this is an article we're going to be diving into. What is crypto winter and how come Vitalik Buterin has been talking about a crypto winter? this is something we might want to know about. And in case you're unsure of who Vitalik Buterin is, that is the founder of Ethereum, the founder and co-creator of Ethereum. So what is being said? Why are we talking about a crypto winter? I thought we were talking about bull season and bull runs. This is not what we want to be hearing. So Cointelegraph says by Helen Parts 11 hours ago, and today is Monday, if you guys are uncertain, crypto winter 2022. Here's what crypto industry veterans expect. So the industry executives predict that the next Bitcoin bull run is likely to happen in 2024 or early 2025, tied to Bitcoin's fourth halving. That's a little bit of ways, and that's not very good for my instant gratification. I don't know about you guys, but the total cryptocurrency market capitalization dipped below 2 trillion last week, and major crypto executives have been increasingly talking about potential continuous bear markets, or what's known in the space as a crypto winter. Contrary to the expectations of many crypto market, Bitcoin failed to surge above 68,000 in 2021 and continued dropping below 40K in early 2022, causing significant losses for big crypto investors such as MicroStrategy. However, possible crypto winter could be helpful for the industry by giving boosts and improving the technology, according to Vitalik Buterin, co-founder of Ethereum blockchain. Lower cryptocurrency prices could contribute to nourishing long-term sustainable projects while removing short-term speculative attention. Buterin said in the Bloomberg interview on Saturday, and I quote, "The winters are the time when a lot of those applications fall away and you can see which projects are actually long-term sustainable, like both in their models and in their teams and their people." So that is a Vitalik quote. And what's really being referenced here is a lot of the money that has come into the crypto space is great for crypto as a whole and in its entirety. But a lot of the money has been poorly allocated into projects that really don't have potential and aren't going anywhere. So the benefit of a possible or potential crypto winter would actually be beneficial for the space of cryptocurrency and its evolution. So some of the money that has been force fed into the projects that don't have utility, or maybe some of these underrated meme projects, then that would trickle down to the projects that do have utility, that can survive a bear winter or a crypto winter. And therefore, that would also allow them to accelerate their evolution and their ability to develop on the blockchain. So that's really what the 28-year-old cryptocurrency billionaire is pointing out. They're deep into crypto, especially building things, and they actually, right here, welcome a bear market. So they welcome a bear market because when there are these long periods of price moving up in huge amounts, as it does obviously make a lot of people happy, but it does also tend to invite a lot of very short-term speculative attention. So it has a negative connotation to it, but looks like it could still be perceived bullish in the long run. I'm not convinced that's what's happening. We come here every day to check these stories out, to look at our charts and to check our indicators, to find out and to not have to believe whatever opinions or stories get fed our way. And remember, on this channel, we teach you the best way to formulate your own opinion is through many. So you want to collect the stories and everything that's going on, and then narrow that down into your own subjective opinion on how you feel towards your assets. So we can come over here and talk about how Bitcoin's looking at taming the geopolitical tensions to perform well. So over here on analyticinsight.net/Bitcoin should tame the geopolitical tensions to perform well. This article was published February 21st of 2022 by Adeline Beatrice. And here it was really brilliantly written. The severity of Russian-Ukraine conflict has resulted in Bitcoin losing its value altogether. But it's showing that it's more from economic changes. So the economic changes and geopolitical tensions across the globe are getting extremely intense. However, many of you might have wondered if this may have any connection. Yes, they do. Whenever a geopolitical conflict escalates, it has a direct impact on Bitcoin's price. Over time, the severity of the impact has gained a strong ground, resulting in BTC losing its value altogether. Recently, the tensions between Russia and Ukraine has worsened. So if you scroll down the article, there's a little section that talks about recent geopolitical escalations and its impact on Bitcoin. And it does a little bit of historical reference in retrospect. So you can look at the Russian-Ukraine tension, which is currently going on. the Kazakhstan internet crackdown, and where they simply shut down the internet for 5 days straight, proving that the country can completely jeopardize the Bitcoin moment for their in their geographic area. Also, China's crackdown on cryptocurrencies happened almost a year back and is still lingering connections with current Bitcoin price fall. To begin with, China was the biggest Bitcoin mining epicenter in the world. Owing to the increasing electricity usage and the decentralization BTC has caused, China came down very hard on the whole cryptocurrency market. At a point, the country imposed a blanket ban on cryptocurrencies. So Taliban also took over Afghanistan, and that on a void swing of years, the country's people found cryptocurrencies as a profit-making space. Starting from mining to buying and holding for profit, everything about Bitcoin went viral. However, when the Taliban took over Afghanistan, the people had no choice but to bury their hope. Many of Bitcoin miners have also moved to other countries hoping to save their lives first. So the global changes have made Bitcoin even more volatile, and that is the summary of this story. The increasing uncertainty in political and social matters across the globe has made Bitcoin a risky asset. So currently speaking, Bitcoin has joined the list of stocks, commodities, high yield bonds, currencies that are considered risky assets because of their unpredictable ups and downs. According to experts, 50% of Bitcoin's price fall is happening because of the Federal Reserve's increased interest rates and fear over the Omicron variant. We also have geopolitical tensions contributing greatly to Bitcoin's price drop. So as you can see, the stories are not in our favor. But, and I say with a big but, this is generally when people are bold and when people are scared. So until we actually have confirmation that we're heading into a crypto winter, that is not the consensus of this channel. These are stories, and this is the general consensus that we are presenting to you guys, but that is not what we believe, nor would we formulate an opinion that bold until the actual indicators pointed us in that direction. So you can continue to follow up with us day to day. We will be here with you going over where we're at and what we think. So I just really want to emphasize the social sentiment in the market before we even dive into charts, because I think currently that is more relevant than the indicators and the charts that we are looking at. And for those of you listening, we are podcasting now. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. So we're trying to really explain what we're looking at to our listeners. And if you are listening to us, please feel free to check us out with full visuals on YouTube, C3 Crypto. We also have an Instagram, a Twitter, and all the works. All the links will be below. Reach out if you have any questions, confusions, or concerns. But let's go ahead and look at some charts. So as we're looking at charts, the first thing I want to bring to your guys' attention is today is a U.S. holiday. So being that today is a U.S. holiday, U.S. markets have not introduced liquidity into the market yet. So the U.S. market has not responded to price movement since the market closed on Friday. So really interested to see what U.S. investors and big money thinks come tomorrow morning when New York opens. And I want to see how New York markets respond to today's price point. I'm really curious to see what happens, because if we can find support at 38K, I'm pretty bullish. If we fail to, I got a different story for you. Either way, I think 20K is worst case scenario, as low as this can go. I've already painted the picture for you guys on the last stream. I believe it was 2 streams ago. If you want to check that out, please do. I break down why we can hit 20K and still go up to 100K within the next year or two. Pretty feasible. It's happened before. It can happen again. But what we're looking at right now is we're looking at total market cap. And we've talked a lot about total market cap. And when we look at the charts, we like to start here. So this is all of the money in cryptocurrency with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of our favorite altcoins below. We're currently sitting at $1.65 trillion. We're in this limbo zone. Bitcoin really doesn't have much support or resistance in this zone. As you can see, we're in a little bit of a sideways channel. And I have it marked out here in yellow for those of you viewing at $2.1 trillion is our top, and $1.5 trillion is our bottom. So that's what we're bouncing up and around and to and from. I would like to see us maybe, worst case scenario, retest the $1.5 trillion, which for those of us panicking and looking at our portfolio, what would that really mean for another drop? That means a potential 10% on top of what is currently happened to the market. So that's what I would like to see in a bullish format. Retest this 1.5 trillion support and continue on in our favorite direction, and that is up. So also, once that happens, we will be looking very clearly for this $2 trillion mark. We will not be bullish until we break through this $2 trillion mark and retest it. So you'll hear retest, retest, retest coming out of our mouth on a regular basis because that's what confirms things. So let's see if we have a different picture, a different story going on with Total 2. And because I've cheated and already looked at the charts before I brought them to you guys, let me tell you that we don't have a different story. It is not that fantastic across the boards. Total 1 looks brutal, Total 2 looks brutal, and rest assured, so in Total 2, for those of you listening, Total 2 market cap is all of the money in crypto besides Bitcoin, and it is currently sitting at $949 billion. Not the best look. We like to flirt with $1 trillion. We should be above it, and we look forward to being above it, retesting it, and blasting far from it. So let's look at Total 3. Total 3 is the same as before, but this excludes the market cap and Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is all of our favorite altcoins that are just trying to prove themselves like the little engine that could. And ladies and gentlemen, they are definitely slowing down on the tracks. You can see we've had a nice trend line. We have fallen below it, and we are not heading in the right direction to be retesting it. So what we like to do to get a rough idea of where we're heading is we can do a quick little parallel channel and look at what kind of numbers, where's our resistance, where's our support, what do we need to break past. So right here, you can see we could fall as far down to like the $550, $560 billion range, which would really hurt for those altcoins. But right now, we need to break out of this channel, which is about $730 billion. So we need to break out of that channel and then retest it as support. So we're looking for that, hoping that that comes. Remember, we tell you on this channel, beginning of the week, generally it moves in one direction. And then on Wednesday UTC, which is Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, that's when the market will go in the opposite direction or the polar direction. So because we are moving downwards, I will be anticipating and hoping for an upward movement come tomorrow afternoon Pacific time and 0000 Wednesday morning UTC. So we're looking for that, kind of on the sidelines, a lot of uncertainty. In the meanwhile, definitely wouldn't feel comfortable making one decision or another with the way things stand. I think we are in a complete standstill. And there is no clear direction on what to do. So now that we've kind of gone over that, let's take a look at everyone's favorite. This is Bitcoin. And I'm sorry, my chart is just spazzing out on us. I promise you I will get a control over this. Let's drag it down. Oh my goodness. I'm just having some glitchertons. So I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in on what's important. We've been showing you the same chart. There's no new marks on this chart. We drew this line with you guys, and we want to show you what's going on. So we're on Bitcoin chart looking at the day candles, and it's currently sitting at $37,078. It is struggling with all of its might to stay above 37,000. Not a good look for Bitcoin, because if we fail to, I would be waiting until 33 or below before I thought about catching a falling knife. So the good news is there is some good news in this story. As you hear us continue to tell you, we look for a retest before we can be bullish on a positive playout. So right here, we drew you out what this may look like if it were to bullishly break out. And the white line you can see represented right here. And for those of you listening, we drew a white line on the beginning of February, on February 3rd, showing what a potential bullish breakout, rise level 1, retest, rise level 2 would look like on the chart and what numbers we could be anticipating. Well, it just so happens that we did almost exactly that play out. We went from the 37,000 that we're sitting at. We rose up to 44K, 45 at its peak, but we didn't close a candle above 44,148. Got heavily rejected at 44,000. Came back down to retest on our line that was resistance. So look back here, guys. Let me kind of get rid of this. This line has been resistant since November 28th. We're actually using our line of resistance as support right here. this is bullish to in a charting perspective. This is good. We needed to use that retest and then push up. But as you guys can understand, we're at pretty pivotal time point that if we do not go above this, then you can anticipate that this will most likely continue downwards. And that's not what we're looking for. That is not a good lookout, and you can rule this nice uptrend out. You would have a different trajectory. So as of right now, this is a good look. We want to stay above this line. So we really need to stay above 36,957 and hopefully continue to. Now, over the next few days, we can continue to use our line of resistance as support and fall as low as 36,000. But if we actually close candles before that, no bueno. No bueno, ladies and gentlemen. So we're definitely on the fence, and I want to be really clear. I hope no one's making irrational decisions. I hope nobody's taking this market fallout and being concerned, because first off, we don't even have US liquidity introduced. So I'm not sold that we're still bearish. I want to see what happens next. So you guys can rest assured we will vigilantly be watching the charts all day today, probably all night tonight, and all day tomorrow. And depending on what tomorrow's print looks like, should really give us a solid indication on where this market's heading. Is this the bottom, or should we expect some lower prices? So if that sounds good to you, I hope you guys tune in tomorrow to live at 5. But that's kind of what I got for the charts. If you guys really want, we can kind of go into what's going on with the dollar later on, but I don't want to bore you guys. I feel like you're getting the point that it's not really great and we don't have enough data to have direction. But normally they lead people with uncertainty before they move in the right direction. And we also talk about very clearly where's our bullseye. And the bullseye is where's the pocket of liquidity for the market, or what we call the market maker. And the pocket of liquidity is currently above us because so many people are afraid and so many people are scared that they are now all shorting the market in anticipation of lower prices. And so therefore the market can make a lot of people money if it goes down, but the market will make the most money for itself if it goes up. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I understand it's slightly confusing, but really when you simplify it down, it's pretty basic. The more people are betting down, the more money the market can make if it goes up. That's what's happening. So with the back end analytics and all the on-chain data that we're getting, I'm thinking that higher prices are more probable than lower prices in the short term, just because the market's hungry for its own personal profit. But I don't have any indication to confirm that until tomorrow's print at 0 UTC. So instead of boring you guys with Bitcoin dominance, Ethereum dominance, and the Dow Jones struggling and bleeding, as well as the S&P 500, we're just going to move on to the fun in the metaverse. It's bleeding a little bit too, but it's way better than this, and it's way more entertaining. And honestly, it may be what pulls crypto out at some point. The metaverse has a lot of funding going into it, a lot of bullish stories coming out about it, and it's going to be a big player in our world. So if you guys want more about charts, let us know. Drop some comments, break it down for us. But as of right now, let's go ahead and slide into the metaverse, some play to earns, and learn about what's fun in the world. Thank you, Sifu, my dude. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too, Al, as always. What's up, C3 fam? And yeah, let's see what we got going on here. Hopefully this isn't too boring for you either. But we're just gonna go ahead and start off with the market cap as always. So we're actually down a little over 11% today. We're sitting at, just over 31 billion. And as you can see right away, as we start looking into pricing and just the movement on everything, our top contenders are down quite a bit. Mana sitting at 252, Axie down to 48, Sandbox 296. So everything has been closely tied with, the whole market dipping at this point. And yeah, really, there's not much health going on as far as that. Everything is definitely on a downward trajectory. I want to say even these, some of these holders, Ultra here, might be red soon. But we're going to keep close eye on this because it is going to be correlated with what's going on. And just like so I'm gonna use Al's kind of whole lesson he just gave us as some bullet points for this. And this may, if it does move on its own, it could, obviously pull things out, but it's definitely kind of following in suit of what's going on. So all the same, if the market itself or Bitcoin starts to get a major pump into it, I wouldn't excuse me, I would expect this to probably follow in suit or maybe move right behind it. But as of now, yeah, isn't really nothing pretty to look at in that sense. Everything's down, so maybe just look at it as good prices if anyone is just looking at things like that. As always, none of this is ever financial advice, but let's go ahead. Let's jump off this chart and let's check out some articles strictly on the NFT metaverse. And if anyone's actually interested in this, we'll have the link. And it just takes you directly to metaverse news going on in the crypto world. But so, having seen the charts and everything so down, there's some interesting articles within here. I'll leave it up to you guys to really dive in. But so right here, we got right at the top, what happened with Snoop Dogg's NFT sale. Um, Makes you wonder, ooh, what did happen? If you actually click into there, he's already up a little over $44 million on his NFT sales. So I'd say it's actually going pretty good for him despite anything on the charts. We have the first eco metaverse is creating a global climate conference. So that's really big. I'm sure if you actually click into there, there's really big players that are going to, anything on a global climate conference level is going to have big players in it. So there's obviously a lot happening behind the scenes. But there's actually tons of great articles within here. To just come and check things out. This is what kind of caught my eye. Sotheby's will auction off the largest group of crypto punks ever. So if anyone's unfamiliar with crypto punks, it's very simple art as you can see here, but it's one of the most successful collections, in my opinion, and they are already selling and reselling for ridiculous amounts. Justin Bieber just bought one for I think $1.3 million. Not a CryptoPunk itself, excuse me. He bought a Bored Ape. However, these sell along those lines. I want to say these kind of help set those trends that have made those collections so successful. So, however, my point is if this is going to be sold off in a like private auction, that might just bump those up to a whole nother tier, which is pretty ridiculous. You can see here NFT Cabo tickets worth $65,000 has been purchased, will be given out to local artists. So now we have kind of NFT tickets being purchased. They're setting up venues to promote local artists and actually, get them known on a level, that's a lot bigger. It's going to give them more exposure, and the net value of that alone is $65,000, and that's I think one of the first of its kind. So I'm sure that will go up too. We have people creating versions of street art into NFTs just to kind of bring back the street art scene and get that into the whole NFT world. So if we look over here, interesting article. Most expensive NFT ever sold went for a whopping $91.8 million. So there's lots of money going through the NFT world. It's not just in play to earn games. It's not strictly in metaverse, but they're obviously all correlated and work together very tightly. But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of use these to kind of help reinforce my bullishness on everything. And as things ride so low, you figure there has to be some sort of a climb at some point. But let's jump over into CoinMarketCap and just look at some of the what's going on with the latest collections and all their sales. So as we check this out, you can see over here right under the sales tab, which is pretty cool. It'll actually show you what they're up and show you how many sales have happened. So the number one guys made 336 sales. And I'm not sure how they actually scale that because this one is up, but he's in third place and down on sales. But in this list alone, there's a lot of interesting things going on. So these are all your upcoming projects to look forward to. And I'm going to scale down here and we're going to find, where are you? Did I pass it? Looking for Solana punks. And I'm going to show you why. Here we go. So speaking of talking about crypto punks, I'm going to click in. Hopefully this will load up. And this would have been, I think, personally believe, a great project to have gotten into now. They already have been all minted and sold, but this is just following the trend of CryptoPunks. These are off the Solana chain, as opposed to the Ethereum blockchain. And I would imagine they're going to do the exact same thing. They pumped out 10,000 of them. If you got in early enough, you could come right here, mint one for yourself or multiple ones, depending on how many you're able to purchase or if you got in on that. And then you have yourself a part of a nice collection, and most likely someone will start flipping these down the line. The value will increase, and you probably don't have to do anything, be effortless. But this is just an example of a lot of these great collections that you can get into outside of the cryptoverse. All these kind of work the same way as far as purchasing something and then getting into an appreciating asset or having an asset appreciate for you more so. But these are all basically sold out, so you have to stay ahead of the game. But this is a great place to come and see where they are, and we're just going to go into the overall stats, and you can just see, it gives you everything you need to know. You don't really need to know these stats, honestly, but if you just come in and click, it's going to show you where you can purchase these if they are available, and you can learn a little bit more about them if you need so know more to be convinced. But most of the times, these NFTs increase a lot in value, especially if it's listed on CoinMarketCap. These are all like the top collections, top 100 movers, and it's just a great place to get all your information and find that. So hopefully we'll get in a new collection. Other than that, like I said, we're going to be watching the market here. Things are down, so we have to pay close attention and not make any rational moves. And I'm just going to close it out for you guys. Not too much more going on than that. Just being vigilant and waiting for the right things, signals to give us our green light. With that, I'm going to close it out and see if my man Al's got anything left for you guys.
Thank you, Sifu. Appreciate that, my dude. Glad that we always have some fun to play with. I'm going to leave the people with some charts for them to look at for themselves. So I want you guys that have gone and created your own trading view and are doing this and following what we're trying to help you to become your own crypto trader and your own crypto portfolio manager. The charts you want to look at is the US dollar. So what I have pulled up on my screen is US dollar index. So if you really want to go to it, you go up to your trading view, you're going to want to look at your index and you're going to type in DXY. And that's how you're going to pull up the US dollar. And as you can see, we've put some charting on the dollar as well, and we've had it in a pretty aggressive wedge or descending wedge since 1984, 1985. So if you're curious about the longevity of this wedge, it's been around for a minute. Now, as you can see, this line has been resistance for 4 decades, going on 4 decades. So a pretty stable line to kind of bank on. And right now, let's zoom in for you guys. We are on that line. And as you can see, we've never closed a candle above this line. We've had some wicks try to push past it, but we have never closed a candle above this line. And so what are we looking at? Why am I zooming in more and more and more? Well, the first one was intentional, not so much the second one. What we're looking at is we're looking at this indicator reference, or this green dot right here, because you guys know that we're big fans of our tools and we use Market Cipher to get these special indicators and tell us a little bit more about what we're looking at. Let's look back at the last time we had this wonderful green dot. Well, we can see over here, that was the end of that pump on March of 09. That was the end of the pump on July of 2010. It consolidated after June of 2012. And then the only time it didn't do a heavy consolidation was in 2018. So right now, the strength of the dollar is being rejected. Oh my goodness, my apologies. Is being rejected at its resistance line. So right now, as Bitcoin is finding support on its support line, the dollar is being rejected on its line of resistance. So we are playing out a possible bullish scenario as we speak. It just doesn't look fantastic right now. So this chart's crucial. You guys definitely want to pull up your dollar chart, and you also want to pay attention to this chart. Now, this chart that we're looking at is USDT.d. So the same manner that you found the dollar, you're going to click your little, oh, I'm just pulling things around now. We need to get rid of this. You're going to go away. Okay, so you're going to go up to your trading view search bar. You're going to go into index. You're going to type in USDT.d, and it's going to show you the market cap USDT dominance. Well, same chart, or same coincidence. USDT dominance has never breached 5.5%. So we're currently sitting at 4.76%. And as that dominance increases, that is a reference or an example of what it looks like when people leave crypto and Bitcoin and they go into stable coins. The percentage and dominance of stable coins like USDT and USDC will increase. So this may come up to 5.5%. But I'm pretty confident that it's not going to break it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we touched it and then, as you can see, found heavy rejection from it like we have every time in the past. So these charts are very crucial to pay attention to. You want to pay attention to your dominance charts. Over here, you can see Bitcoin on the dominance chart for the month is actually a pretty bullish little candle. Granted, it only has 6 days and 23 hours left to play that out. It looks pretty good. But let's talk about what does the Ethereum on the month look like. My goodness, Ethereum looks like it was going to die all month. And what did Ethereum did? It did exactly that. But what does this chart tell us? So this chart right here is my favorite. And if you want to learn how to stack your charts, you go up to your trading view, select layouts. It's your little box in the top right corner. You click that and you can go as wild as you feel. So obviously, it does get a little bit hard to read your indicator, so I recommend being slightly modest with how many you try to compare. But this is one of our favorite tools because we want to see what does the market cap Bitcoin dominance look like compared to the market cap USDT dominance. And as you see these two charts, the USDT has actually gotten very bullish. But if you've been following the channel, you know that these indicators can only go up so high before they taper off. So that's something really important to pay attention to. I would imagine maybe possibly 1 or 2 more candles in a bullish scenario before this turns around. That's why I'm excited to see what Wednesday does. And I'm also excited for the end of this month to see how we're going to respond to the closing of a month. And really, tomorrow is going to be indicative because it's going to be our first time seeing how New York markets respond to today's price action. And I can't stress the importance of that enough. That will dictate where this market goes. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Hope you got as much value as possible. If there's anything that we didn't cover and you wish that we'd go over, reach out to us. Let us know how we can improve and how we can help you become a better trader and a better crypto investor. So hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you had a good time. If not, our apologies. Like and subscribe if that's how you feel. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow live at 5. I'm Al. Much love and respect. Over and out. And that's Jake, and he does all the hard work. So cheers to Jake.
Cheers, fam.